Well, good morning. I'm Dr. Shauna Young, and I'm here to answer a question that I've been asked a lot lately, which is about fatty coffee or bulletproof coffee, whatever you want to call it. First of all, anything that has coffee in the name is going to attract my attention very, very quickly because I love coffee. I would throw parades for coffee probably. It's not that I need it, I can't get started without it. In fact, if that's your issue, then you actually need to look in other directions because you might have some health issues underlying there. But if you're somebody like me that just loves coffee, that just loves everything about coffee, you love making coffee, you love drinking coffee, you love the little ritual around coffee, then fatty coffee is something you really need to look into. When it originally came to my attention, I was actually on a Facebook group and everybody was talking about their BPC and how much they love their BPC. And what that did is that led me to Dave Asprey, who is the Bulletproof executive, to his website. And the Bulletproof coffee is Dave's little invention. What it is, in a nutshell, is black coffee, and you want to make sure you're doing organic, mold-free black coffee. I actually buy a locally grown one because we're at very high altitude here, and we know it's organic. And then you're adding, yes, grass-fed butter to it. Yes, butter, not cream. And if you want to take it a step further and make it bulletproof coffee, then you're actually going to add anywhere from a couple teaspoons to a tablespoon of MCT oil, which is medium chain triglycerides. So we're going to explain all this. There's a lot of data, you know, coffee's bad for you, coffee's good for you. No, it's bad, no, it's good. It's constantly these studies, and I think it matters on, you know, who's doing the study, quite frankly, in a lot of cases. But there's a long-term benefits of coffee that are known. Coffee is a great antioxidant. Coffee helps you focus. Now they're finding that coffee is decreasing risks of diabetes, prostate cancer, breast cancer, all kinds of things. But whether it's good for you or bad for you, people are going to drink it. So why not figure out the way that's best for you? So let's go make some coffee.
Now first we're going to start off with our freshly brewed black coffee. Okay, now again, very, very important that you get organic coffee and that you're getting mold-free beans. When you're talking about trying to make coffee healthy, then the quality of the coffee is very, very important. Next, we are going to get our unsalted grass-fed butter. Now, any kind of butter that isn't grass-fed is going to have inflammation in it. If there is inflammation in the animal that produced the milk, then we're going to have inflammation in the butter. And that is what we are trying to avoid by making our coffee bulletproof. MCT oil is the next ingredient. Now, MCT oils are not all created equally. Let me just tell you that. The pharmaceutical grade ones are fantastic, rocket fuel. But I've tried some other ones that were not pharmaceutical grade and they didn't quite make it. I'm using the Bulletproof upgraded MCT oil. It's from Dave Asprey and I like it very, very much. Now, I'm not a big sweetener person, but if you are, then stevia is a good thing to do. They even have some great flavors. Now, the blender, too, is important, just to get it whipped up nicely. We tried a couple of different brands, and it just couldn't quite take the heat. So we finally found this Cuisinart, and it whips it up into a beautiful frothy foam, as you can see, but it had no problem with spilling and no problem with the seal and the heat. Yet another great thing about bulletproof coffee is that when you blend all those fats in there, that gorgeous head of foam that you see is going to last from your first sip to your very last, which is very nice. It also stays really, really hot, which is great because of the fats. Voila.
Oh, good. You know what, though? I know what you're thinking. I can hear the wheels turning in your head. Ooh, fat is bad. Fat is the enemy, right? And I just loaded a whole bunch of grass-fed butter and a whole bunch of medium-chain triglyceride into mine. That's a lot of fat. And so I know what you're thinking. Ooh, I bet our arteries are hardening as we speak. I can feel the cholesterol coursing through our body. Well, you know what? Nothing could be further from the truth. Just to give you my own experience, when I first started drinking bulletproof coffee, which was, gosh, probably over a year ago by now, is I noticed immediate focus. I mean, the first day. How many times do you get to try something and then feel it 5 minutes later? That's pretty rare. So I started feeling the better level of energy, the better focus. Any fat that was left in my body started burning off. It gave me a whole different composition. I felt great. And my body temperature actually went up. I don't know how many people that does it for, but my body temperature actually went up a little bit, which makes me believe that my metabolism is working at a harder crank. Let's think about that idea that fat is bad for just a moment. I like to try to relate things back to real life, back to normal people, and not just quote a bunch of data and studies and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that's because I've been in practice for so long, I hear so many stories. I don't know, but that's the way I'm wired. So all of us, everybody, just think about it. Everybody that you know, they have this relative. And whenever anybody starts talking about healthy diets and tofu and whole grains and all this kind of stuff, they say, oh, I had this uncle and he ate bacon and eggs all the time, and he ate butter on everything, and he put full fat cream in his coffee. He drank coffee every day. He did all this, and he lived until he was 92 years old. Why do you think we all have a story like that? Because that's the way that was. Think about it. These people, your old relative, your old, uncle or aunt or whoever it was, that person did not die of cancer. They did not have diabetes. They did not have all the health problems that we have today. Cancer used to be a big deal when people would talk about it. Oh, did you hear Aunt so-and-so, she has cancer? It was like this huge thing. And now it's like nothing. Everybody's talking about it constantly. So if the way that everybody was eating back then, eating full fat, eating food, real food, something didn't come out of a box, was so harmful for us, then why do you and everybody else have a story just like that? If we're going to be honest here, the truth is that even if coffee didn't have all the great health benefits that it has, I might drink it anyway. I love coffee. I love the taste. I love the smell. I love everything about it. But instead, I'm drinking bulletproof coffee, fatty coffee, whatever you want to call it, coffee by another name. It has butter in it, it has MCT oil in it. It improves my focus. It improves my metabolism. It's helping me in my everyday life, and I love it, so there's no downside. Now let me remind you one more time. 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day, okay? You don't want to do any more than that. Besides, it kills your appetite, it does all kinds of things. 1 to 2 should be absolutely plenty. And if you're one of those people that feels like they absolutely have to have coffee, that they can't get going without it, then you really need to investigate some other health issues that might be there and why your energy is so low. But if you were a person who just loves coffee like me, then I would very much encourage you to get some grass-fed butter, get yourself a pharmaceutical quality MCT oil, get yourself a good blender, and give it a whirl. This is the bomb, it really is. And if you're really good and you drink your fatty coffee, I might even invite you to my coffee parade. I'm Dr. Shauna Young, and I'm going to go enjoy my coffee, and you guys have a great day and be well.
Taste the floor, stop and stare. I drink a cup of coffee and start to combing out my hair. I drink 40 cups of